Hey everyone, this is Mike and I'm here with Isaac.
Hey.
And okay, so we want to do something a little different today. I guess this is a bit more of a video response to another YouTuber by name MugenLord. Shout out to MugenLord. He had a very interesting topic regarding gaming discussion and gaming discourse, and he made a video called "Gaming Discourse Has Become Exhausting." It's a very good video, definitely something that I would recommend watching. I'm gonna have a link in the description below. And basically, we wanted to just like sort of continue the conversation that he basically started with this video. So, MugenLord basically goes into a big old discussion regarding how social media has shaped the gaming landscape on how we discuss video games and whatnot, and as well as like YouTubers, content creators, Twitch streamers, how they are a very big player in what we discuss when it comes to video games. Our perception of what makes a video game good and bad basically went into that as well. It's a very whole thing that he went into, and I definitely agree with. He also mentioned that he played Marathon and he liked it. And of course, if you know the current public perception about Marathon is that it's a very bad doo-doo game that you shouldn't be interested in. And he also mentions that no, you should actually like play the game to form an opinion, which is something I absolutely agree with. And then he also basically discusses how, like, again, how polarizing the gaming discussion has become these days. Again, a lot of things that I absolutely agree with. It has become polarizing, toxic, with quote unquote toxic positivity, negative, like toxic negativity, and all that stuff. It's all very like exhausting. The only thing that I slightly disagree with is him saying that it has gaming discourse has become exhausting, because I personally believe that everything I experienced growing up on the internet and whatnot, that gaming discourse has kind of always been exhausting. I wish it wasn't the case, but yeah, I really believe that it's kind of always been like this ever since the advent of the internet and basically everybody allowing to put their opinions online. It's kind of always been this way. Now, the reason why I believe that is because if you grew up on like the 2000s internet, like me and my brother have, you may or may have not been on certain like places on the internet where gaming discussions happen. One particular place that I remember being on when I was younger was a little known place called the GameSpot forums. Now, if anyone remembers the GameSpot forums, they also had a little section on the forum known as System Wars. And it's exactly as it sounds. It's basically a place where people go and discuss their favorite video games, but in the favorite systems and whatnot. But if you've been in there, you know that it was basically just a battleground for people defending their favorite like video game consoles and saying, "Oh, this game has this. Our system has exclusivity. Yours doesn't. The games you have on your system suck. The games on my system are the best," and stuff like that. And if you liked any system in particular, you were basically branded as an Xbot, a Sonypony, or a Nintendrone. You were not allowed to be neutral on the System War forums. You had to pick one or the other. If you had all three systems, you were basically a freak at that point. It's just like you had to basically defend your system to the death. And it was exhausting, but as a kid, I kind of engaged in that kind of stuff when I was younger. I was, I guess, a Nintendo guy back in the day. Eventually, I switched over to Sony and me defending the PlayStation 2 over the Xbox and stuff like that. Obviously, now that I'm older, I'm like, well, what the hell was I doing? Like, why was I defending a piece of plastic? It was just like it's a system that does something, right? Like, why am I defending this? But it's what we did when we were younger on the internet, and as stupid as it was, it's just something that we did. Now, there's a lot of other things I want to go into, but I figured I want to get Isaac's thoughts on this.
Yeah, you send me this video, um, this video essay, and I thought it was honestly pretty good. On top of that, here's where I will sit down and go into most of the things that he said. And going back to what you were saying about how you were on those GameSpot forums back in the day and how you were defending video games and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't mean that to be, and I'm not like, and I'm not to be to judging people's intelligence. I'm just
Yeah,
saying that you
no.
were young, you were stupid, you were young, and you engaged in what gamers do. You engaged in something between a console world, but you also have to remember that was all just fun and games. That was just relaxing. This was just two of young people that, at our moment at that time, this was our world. This is what
Hmm.
we engaged in. This was our interest, and that was totally fine. Now, like you said, as you're old up, you don't. Why did I engage that? Because yeah, you were young, you were stupid, and we were all idiots. We all engaged in all of that when we were young. So, what the problem now today is, because of unfortunately certain different climates that unfortunately sit down and get thrown in and get mixed in
Hmm.
now gaming has become even a lot more over exaggerated, and it's become more and on top of people's more sensitivity palettes are now starting to be boosted. More other things are starting to get in the geopolitical sides of things, the business sides of things, the certain social identities that you pointed to have now entered into the game scape. And I think one of the situations I'm like, I will sit down and agree with you. What I took from this entire video essay is simply, I think in terms for people that people need to start playing video games again. That's what it just at the end of the day fucking sounds like. It seems like nobody wants to play video games, unfortunately, in today's generation, or as we've gotten older. Again, as we gotten older, it's getting more difficult to play video games the way that we used to do when we were in our teens and our 20s. We just have more responsibility. But in terms of the new generation right now, I guess Gen Z, I guess that would be the
Gen
generation,
Z and now going into Gen
and
Alpha.
Alpha, these next two generations. What it seems right now in the world of gaming is that not only are games being designed similarly, a lot of games no longer really sit down and challenge you. Um, build your actually it was interesting. Don't really challenge you the way that old games did back in the day when we, showing an age, when you played games, we didn't have auto save points. We didn't have anybody holding your hand. We didn't have you only had a couple of lives too, and if you had played the game good enough, you would have to discover those lives. A lot of today's games don't really teach discovery. They don't teach you to build frustration tolerance. And a lot of games, when you lose, you lost, and you had to start all over again, and then you have to play. But what you end up learning is you end up learning patterns. You end up learning what to miss and not to miss. You got good at the game. So once you got to a new spot, you failed, you learn again. We're not allowed to fail anymore because now you're being rewarded. Like, oh, if you failed, here you go. Here's this auto save point. Or they'll even do something to, do you want us to turn the difficulty down? Games have now gotten to the point where things are holding people's hands that nobody has the fortitude to handle frustrations. And I think that's also starting to trigger, along with other things around our social area, that's now starting to trigger into other things as well in games. And now I'm also starting to learn, because people don't play games anymore,
Hmm.
it is easy to get, I wouldn't say manipulated, but I feel like all these YouTubers, and now start to hold even more clout in terms of what games you should or should not play because you never sit down and play games. I know the industry has unfortunately created so much hype where it now seems like the hype is more important than the actual game itself. I understand there's a lot of discourse in terms of social media groups and social political stuff to get into it. It- I- it- to solve all this, it's simply you just start playing games. And I think what I would elect for people at this point is to play all types of games. Play old games, play new games, play games that are very controversial, play games that don't challenge your feeling. I feel like if you start playing more games at this point, what it does, it builds you the knowledge and agency to be able to actually form opinions now again, or to reclaim the ability to form opinions, because I feel like there's so many people being swiped out. Okay, it's like, all right, let's a great example, Stellar Blade. People didn't probably wanted to play it because they felt like the game was overly objectifying women, or or people were very upset about the objectifying. Instead, just go sit down and play the game. I think for people that were upset, I think you still should play that game, because I think at the end of the day, if you played it, maybe you'll enjoy it, or maybe you don't see it that way like other people. Or what's another great interesting game that actually won? Is it the South by Midnight? I believe it's the South by Midnight game.
No, that's not the call. I know what you mean.
Something by
call
Midnight.
Like
I forgot the name of the
Yeah.
game. It's actually on my Steam list. I forgot it. Something by Midnight. It's
it's just I know what the game. I know it's by the people that made We Happy Few. In fact, I know if I could figure out the name of who made We Happy Few, then
it's like the Southern by Midnight. It's that
Yeah,
game.
yeah,
Either way, what I'm trying to get to, and once we find out the name of the game,
Compulsion Games.
once you find out the name of the game, it's the
South of Midnight.
Yeah, South of Midnight. Okay,
South of Midnight.
I thought I said that. Okay, Southern of Midnight, South of
You
Midnight,
said
something
son of-
in
You
that.
said Son of Midnight.
I think I was trying to say South, but then
Yeah.
it came out Sun. But at the end of the game, what I'm trying to say is, okay, listen, I feel like people are missing out on some really interesting games, because either some social group that came into it is affecting people's ability to play the game. What I would do, if you don't like that game, I still say still play it, because here's what that happens again. You build agency, you'll actually have an opinion of the game, and if you don't like the game, that's totally fine, but at least you will actually have knowledge about what the game you played. A lot of people just don't play games and talk out of the side of their ass without actually ever even touching that game. It seems like if one person records it and places it, then that's what everybody goes by. And that's just not how things work. Going back to us as kids, only reason why I think we were able to develop a better tolerable palette in terms of all types of games is because that we have to remember the industry was still growing, and they haven't defined the industry yet, because we were basically the experimental generation when video games came out. So we ended up just playing all types of games. It didn't matter what type of game it was. We ended up just having samples and have a palette of games of what we like and what we don't like. Now, eventually, you started leaning to games that you enjoy. But at the day, you played all types of games because you were just having fun, and you were just trying different things. You were trying to figure out. People need to get back to doing that. Just play all types of games. And here's the thing about it too. Steam is releasing thousands of games a month. There's always a brand new game that you could check out. There's always demos right now that are being presented. And at this point too, if you buy a game, you can play it for an hour. If you don't like it, you can also return it. So nobody has anything to lose by doing any of this, to building more knowledge of gaming right now, and not have to be worried about at the end of the day, oh, should I play this game because my YouTuber, my favorite YouTuber or follower, or my favorite streamer is or against it, or the fact that I'm a part of an echo chamber that hates these certain games. It's so stupid. If you sit down and you play more games, you're gonna have better agency, and that's pretty much it. That's simple as that.
Yeah, absolutely. It really does come down to we need to just be playing games. Obviously, MugenLord would agree, considering he did say that gaming demos and open betas should be the standard. It's amazing why it hasn't been the standard for a while, because I guess a lot of game companies are actually afraid of people forming their opinion on the demo
before the actual game comes out,
and
which I
it's
totally understand.
Oh my god, because oh my god, they formed their opinion on the demo, they're not gonna buy the game, and because of how expensive gaming is at the moment, they don't want to take that risk.
All the reason why I said that Steam now offers you a return policy.
And that it is true.
So now you can sit down and play that game for an hour or for whatever before you have that grace period before you have to return that game back to figure out if you enjoy it or if not. Again, and I think other games, not just Steam, but do other streaming platforms offer this?
I don't know
or
if
is it
other
just
gaming
Steam?
markets
Probably.
offer a 2 hour return period. I don't know.
Okay,
In
that's
fact,
being fair.
yeah, because like Steam is extremely generous when it comes to
Which I think it's
returns.
fantastic. Also, Steam also adds a family share.
That is true.
So if you know a friend,
Who
you can
has the game? You can just
you can family share the game, and you don't. Even better, it's taking even the risk off of even all in that.
That is
So
true.
I think there's no excuse right now for people to not be able to play more games in moderation. Again, in simple moderation. I think people need to stop being bitches about this. I think people need to start having spine about it and actually start being able to actually sit down to form opinions. When you're able to do that, you'll have better grasp of what's happening right now, and you're not getting swiped up to every little news or journalist article or anything that's being said. Because at the end of the day, I think at the end of the day, even including us as YouTubers right now, I know we have a small channel, but even us, you should take anything that we say with an actual grain of salt. Like we're not gatekeepers of anything right now. We're just here to spread opinions the same way that your favorite streamer or YouTuber is doing right now. You take that stuff with a grain of salt and still form your own opinion at the end of the day.
Yeah, I agree. No, it's again, it still kind of sucks that that gaming it's been like this. And again, personally, even as much as we say that people should do this, we obviously can't control what people do or how people think and whatnot. And again, kind of going back to my initial like point of saying that gaming discourse has kind of always been like this. Like again, I did also mention like the console wars. It was like a really dumb thing. Unfortunately, it eventually it evolved from console wars to PC versus console. If you remember that, you probably don't. I do, because if anyone remembers the time where it was always the quote unquote PC master race era of online discussions for gaming, where anyone who owned a console was considered quote unquote a console peasant. It was a very annoying time. I loved PC gaming. I
We grew up in
respected
PC gaming more than we grew up on console
yeah,
gaming.
we
at the
grew
end
up
of
with
the
a
day.
keyboard on a keyboard and mouse in our hands more so than we did with a console in our hands. We grew up with the MS DOS era of gaming, the Windows 3.1 / Windows 95 era of gaming. We grew up with all that. We loved PC gaming. There was always demos back in the day when it comes to PC gaming, because that's in fact, demos was kind of 90% of the games that we played back in the day on the PC were demos. If you remember shareware era, where basically 90% of people experience with PC games were just shareware demos that were shared on discs or floppy disks or CDs. It was a very fun way of getting to experience a ton of games in a short amount of time. And I love that era. I wish that era of gaming would come back.
Again, that era never left. It just transformed to something better right now. That
Yeah,
it's even, I would even argue even a lot more accessible than when we have to do it. Like you said, you
Yeah.
had to either go to a lot of these PC fairs back in the day, where you
Yes.
picked up all these CDs and stuff. This is normally where you found a lot of games back in the day when we used to do it. I remember when our dad took us to a lot of these PC fair games. This is where we just kind of find all these old games
Yeah.
that
That were being sold.
that would be sold at discount products, and this is where we did find our introduction to a lot of all these products and stuff like that.
Yeah,
though.
but
Yeah,
it's just again, it just sucks that a lot of people had this air of like superiority with PC gaming. I was never a part of the quote unquote PC master race, even though I had a pretty decent PC back in the day. I would never go out and call people peasants, because I owned a game console as well back in the day. It was just very dumb. And now, even to this day, it also evolved again. Now it's regular gaming versus mobile gaming, because even to this day, people would mock and belittle you if you enjoyed any kind of game that was made for mobile devices. And even to this day, there are plenty of people that go out of their way to say that mobile games aren't real games. And I get it, because there is a lot of very manipulative games on like the marketplace that are just designed to just like, take your money, transaction hell, gooner gotcha games and all that thing. But there are a lot of fun games on the mobile platform if you would just dig and look. Because one particular game that I enjoy playing right now is a game called Wuthering Waves. It's an action RPG. It has awesome gameplay, good visuals. Yes, it's an anime, it's a gacha game, but I've never felt like I was ever obligated to actually spend money on that game, because just the gameplay is so much fun that I spend my time on the game just to play the gameplay. I've never felt like I'm obligated to spend money on pools or anything like that, or try to get that new character and whatnot. And just like, it's really fun. I know there's another particular game that both me and Isaac are playing, Zenless Zone Zero. Now, even though my interest in that game is kind of like waning a little bit on the game, I still think that the core gameplay is very fun, very exciting, very expressive. And again, it's a game that you can also play on mobile. And it's also another game that I've never felt obligated to spend money on extra pulls and like that, even though the game is trying desperately to get people to pull for new characters and stuff like that. But still, I enjoy the gameplay so much more than trying to get the new shiny character that they're trying to promote. And funny enough, one of the most anticipated games that is supposedly coming out this year, Ananta, is also a game that's supposed to also be coming out on mobile. So I still don't understand this whole mindset of saying that mobile games aren't real games, when it's very clear that mobile devices and mobile games have gotten to the point where you can basically have the same exact experience on PC and console that you can have on mobile. It blows my mind that this game that I'm playing on my PC with all these graphics and all this tight gameplay, that I can also play it on my phone and take it with me wherever I go. You think that alone be like amazing and breathtaking, but people are like, nah, playing on a phone, that's for Candy Crush and Farmville or whatever, like, or Subway Surfers. And they think that that's basically what mobile gaming is, all these simple like games that you just time wasters. But no, there are so many mobile games that are actually legitimate good games.
I think the bottom line is, at the end of the day, it's just, again, people just need to go and experience all type of video game and whatever it is, and not always have to put yourself into this camp. Put yourself into this sense of communities that think your way. Again, like I said, if you play the game, you don't like it, then you can, then it at least it reaffirms your opinion. But
Yeah.
you should not be afraid to try all types of games right now. Again, play old games, play new games, play games that challenge your opinions, because if someone says that game is bad, I think it should honestly give you at least a curiosity to see why, and just play it for yourself, and then, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That is why.
Yeah.
Again, it gives you a sense of being able to have an opinion on the art, because gaming is an art. It gives you opinion, and to be able to talk about it and understand about it, most than any of the people online that lean towards social media and YouTubers and telling them how they should game or should not game.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that's basically the long and short of it, is that, again, people just need to go out and play these games. And while it's good to get a second opinion from your favorite YouTuber or Twitch streamer or content creator, at the end of the day, the only opinion that truly matters is your own. So go out and play these games. If you like a game, don't be in particular that a lot of other people don't like, don't sweat it. At the end of the day, as long as you're having fun, that's all that matters. So again, shout out to MugenLord. He had a very awesome video, a very cool discussion. Definitely check out his video. It's very awesome. And yeah. So what do you think about this whole topic about gaming discourse? Do you think that gaming discourse has gotten better over the years? Do you think it has gotten worse over the years? Let us know. And if you like what we do here, please rate, comment, and subscribe. I'm Mike with Isaac, and we are saying peace.